The shaman poured the tea and then handed me the small little cup of dark sludge. I hesitated. I didn't know what to do. I was so scared. I thought, what the hell am I doing here? There was resistance. I didn't want to do it. I've never been that scared. I was thinking I could actually die here. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't even know where I am. And my mission was to drink this tea and go on a journey and get unstuck and discover my life's purpose, and for all of my torturous anguish to just disappear into the night. You see, I was at an ayahuasca ceremony in the jungle in Costa Rica, and this was the first night that I was taking ayahuasca. I had never done anything like this before. I'm not one to take drugs. I don't like to escape. I like to be in control. And so in this moment, it was asking me to let go of the control. The medicine was asking me to just surrender. And the second that I surrendered, I let go of all of my fear, and I drank the tea. And this is where the story begins. So I traveled over to Costa Rica because I wanted to really get unstuck. I felt like I was meant for more, and I didn't know how to achieve that. I felt like I was just in the same, and I wasn't reaching my full potential because I felt like I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know what my secret gift was. I didn't know how to help the world. And I thought if I went and took this tea, this ayahuasca that is made by the shaman from plants, from a tree in the jungle, that all the answers would come to me. Now I've done my research and I've heard all the stories. So I found a place that was totally legit. And by legit, I mean they had a doctor on site. It was kind of like a retreat area. I didn't want to be in the middle of the jungle, just laying on the ground in some random hut. I didn't want that for me. I wanted to know that I was safe so I could allow my brain to let go. Because like I said, I like to control my thoughts. I like to be in control of my environment. So I don't really do a lot of drugs. I don't really do a lot of drinking because I like to be in the moment. But this was the experience where I was going to let it all go. And even just drinking the tea was hard in the first place because I knew I had to let go of all of the control. And so I took the tea. And I was in a room with 20 other people doing the same thing. And we had the shaman who was in charge of holding space for us and guiding our journeys. I had never done this before, but what I did know is that we all had our mattress on the floor. We all had some water. We all had a bucket, and we all had some toilet paper. And we were going on this journey. And this was a group of people that I had just met, but I knew that we were all in the same boat. We were all struggling. We were all tortured souls. We were all trying to figure out who we were. And so let's go. Here we go on this journey. We did this for 5 nights in a row. And it was hard. I am not going to lie. It was tough because the idea behind the medicine is you have to let go of everything that is not serving you. And that's a physical letting go. That is throwing up. That's going to the bathroom. That's all of it. And I am not a fan of throwing up, period. Like I hate it. And they give you a bucket because they want you to be in the process, be where the ceremony is happening, stay with everybody else and just throw up in the bucket and let it just allow the release to happen. But I have this thing, I can't throw up in front of other people. So every time I had to throw up, I got up and I went to the bathroom and I got up and I went to the bathroom. I could not for the life of me throw up in this bucket, and everybody around me is throwing up. Like, it's no problem. Like, what is wrong with me? Why can't I just throw up in the bucket? Again, it's that letting go of controlling the situation. And there's many types of journeys that you can do on the ayahuasca. And it is the plant medicine that connects you to Grandmother Moon. And once you decide that you're going to do this process, like in my brain, as soon as I signed up for this, the medicine starts working. And this, where I went, it was kind of like a retreat created by this guy who had drug and alcohol and sex addictions. And he didn't know how to heal himself. And he came upon this person that showed him this medicine. And as soon as he took the medicine, it helped him to let go of all of these addictions. So a lot of people that do this are trying to heal from addiction. For me, it was to really find how I can make a difference in the world, how I can help people more, what my purpose is, like really understand it. And so all of this group of us are all on our own journeys. And for 5 nights straight, we did this. And it was so intense and it was so hard. And there's many types of journeys that you can go on. Some are visions, some are stories that you hear, some you're in an experience. For me, I had a lot of what they call nadas. And a nada is like, it seems like nothing is happening. And the shaman told me that when people have nadas, it's because the spirit is healing past traumas and past hurts until we got to heal these before we can work with the present situation that's going on. So I had a lot of nadas. So I felt very disappointed in a lot of the experiences. But when I look back on it, I realize that I did have a lot of experiences and they were very subtle, very, very subtle. And it was on the very last day after we had done all of the plant medicine that we were doing breath work. We started it with breath work and we ended it with breath work. And I'm talking intense breath work. And on the 11th hour, like the last minute of the last day doing this breath work, I just had this huge breakthrough. And it was unconditional love like I had only felt twice before. And that was with the birth of my children. The second after you have these children and you see them, you just get this huge rush of hormones, but it's like unconditional, like you feel this love that you've never felt before. It is mind-blowing. It's insane. It's like you don't even know what's going on. And I had this experience doing the breath work after I had done all the ayahuasca ceremonies, and it just felt so liberating and so freeing. And I had received quite a few messages along the way. And when I'm in this experience, I'm in it with 20 other people, and everybody is having their own experience. And every night it was a different shaman who had made different ayahuasca. So every situation was unique. But I do remember this one guy who was across from me. So I was looking at him all the time. And he had done ayahuasca many times. Like this guy was looking for something, really doing his work, searching. Like this was maybe like his 20th time he had done it. And on one of the nights, I don't even remember which night it was because they all kind of blend together, he had his moment and he went off. Now, there's the shaman there, and there's other people who are guides and helpers to make sure that everybody stays on track. And if anybody needs help, there's people there to help them. And this guy, I was doing my thing on my mattress, just like zoning, finding, listening to the messages. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, it really stinks in here. And you never know what's reality and what's part of the journey. And I opened my eyes to turn around to see this guy, butt naked, covered in his own feces. And I was just like, shocked the heck out of me. And then the next thing I know, the helpers come over and they're like dealing with him. But the interesting thing was this guy had his breakthrough and it was intense. It was like a psychotic break. And meanwhile, on the other side of the room, there's a girl having the same experience. And this is very unusual for this to happen, never mind for two during the same journey. So that guy was being taken care of, and he was this is what he had come for. I mean, he didn't know this when he signed up for it, but this is what he had come here for. And the reason I'm telling you this story is because I recently went to Costa Rica and I was in this small little town, and lo and behold, who did I meet on this beach? I met that guy. And I couldn't believe that I was seeing him, running into him again. But this time he was with his little daughter. She was around a year old, so cute. And they were having daddy-daughter time, sitting in the little puddles of the ocean, having so much fun. And I went up to him and I said his name, and he was like, how do we know each other? And he didn't remember me at all. And I couldn't forget who he was, but it was interesting because he said to me at the end of our conversation, he said, I'm surprised that you remember me. And I didn't say anything because I don't know what his experience was, but I was thinking, God, I'll never forget you because of that experience. That was just so intense. So it's interesting, the different perspectives and the different experiences we have. But those nights were life-changing. On the last night, they brought in the grand poobah of shamans, the most experienced shaman. And so this was kind of what everything was building up to, was this evening here. And I remember having nadas and everybody else is having their journey. And I remember going up and saying, I don't think it's working and I don't feel so good. And they would say to you, drink more, have more of it, because it's the cleansing and you got to get to the certain point, and then you take more of it. And I would say, I don't feel so good. I'm not feeling good, because nobody was feeling good when this is happening. And the shaman would come up and he would do his work. He would move the energy. He would talk to the spirits, and he would fan you with these big palm leaves, and it would make a sound. And then he would take the stuff and he would just like whoosh, spit it all over your face, like all of this. It's called flower water. And so he's cleansing you, he's clearing you, he's helping you with the process. And you're just like, what's going on? It was such a crazy experience. And it lasts for hours, like all through the night. So you wake up in the morning and then you have a breakfast and then you don't eat for the rest of the day because of the purging. And then you sit in ceremony as soon as it gets dark, all through the night until the medicine wears off. And then you recover and then you do it again. But I remember talking to this one shaman because he was so powerful. His guides, his energy, he had done so many of these ceremonies. And I went up to him after we get cleansed. At the end of the ceremony, everybody goes up and gets a clearing and a cleansing. And I just said to him, like, I just admired him so much. And I said to him, I want to be just like you. How do I be more like you? And he said to me, be like a waterfall. Just let it flow through you like a waterfall. And this has stuck with me forever. This is not like the information I receive, the healings, the learnings, the teachings, all the stuff I have. I'm just a vessel to share it with everybody. And that's why I love doing what I do. That's why I love having a podcast, because I want to take everything I know and I want to give it to you. I want to share it with you, and I want you to take it, and I want you to apply what works for you. And I want you to change your own life. I don't want to be the gatekeeper to any of this crazy, awesome information, but I want to give you the tools so that you can discover this on your own. We have the ability to heal our bodies. We have the ability to create our own present moment. We think that we're stuck in this life that we're dealt with, and it's not in our control, but it's all in our control. It's all in our control. We can change, we can create, we can do anything we want, but we have this belief that what's happening is what's happening, and that's all that there is. But I'm here to say there's so much more. Like, whoever you think you are, you're so much more than that. But you haven't even begun to tap into this potential because nobody told you that you could. And I'm here to tell you that you can do it, that this is possible. your school system, your parents, your family, nobody knows about this. So nobody taps into this. Nobody understands this. Nobody even thinks that this is on their radar of possibility. But the reason I did this, and the reason you're listening to this podcast or wanting to work with a coach or wanting to change something, is because you're stuck. And being stuck means, for me, it meant, I know I'm meant for more. I know I'm meant to help people heal their lives and to live amazing lives and to become the best version of themselves. Like, I just know that in my being. Until my last breath, I will know that I'm here to help people heal and to show them how to do that. I just know that. And the reason I went on this journey was because staying stuck had become more painful than doing this ceremonial tea in the depths of the jungle of Costa Rica. Like, I was so scared to do this. Like, when I went up there to take that tea, I was so freaked out. I thought, what am I doing? I could die. This could be the last thing I ever do. But that fear that I had wasn't as big as the fear of staying stuck. That was more terrifying for me. Just being the same person that I was and not living a big full life and knowing what I'm capable of, not learning what I'm capable of or why I'm here or all the amazing possibilities that I can create. That was more painful, the staying stuck, than being afraid that I might die. Like, I had those thoughts. This is crazy. I don't know these people. I don't know what I'm doing. And then I just surrendered to it. I surrendered to the journey. I surrendered to the experience because I was called there to do that. It was not a mistake. And they say there are like 2 ways to achieve this state, like this state of getting out of your own damn way, this state of your conscious brain not running the show and delving into your unconscious, your subconscious. This goes not just to unconscious, but your subconsciousness. And when you can take all of this, all of your monkey brain out of it, you can get to the heart of like what's really going on and who you really are. And there's 2 ways to do that. They say one is with breath work, and I experienced that in this retreat. And the other one are certain types of drugs, psilocybin, hallucinogenics, all of those types of things, ayahuasca, all of that. It's designed to take your ego out of it, to find out what's really going on and who you really are. But I believe with all my heart that we can train our brain to go there. You don't have to like run off into the jungle to get unstuck. But you do have to become the master of your brain. You are the thinker of your thoughts, and you are the observer of the thinker of your thoughts. You're 2 people, you're 2 entities, 2 energies in this situation. One, you're the one doing the thinking of the thought, and then you're the one who's like noticing that you're thinking that thought. And most people don't know that second version. They're just the thinker of their thoughts, but they're not aware of what they're thinking. That's where everything changes. When you want to become aware that you're the thinker of your thoughts. So you take a step back from what's going on, because your thoughts create your results. Your thoughts can create anything, and your thoughts can tell you that I can connect to altered states. I can connect to my purpose. I can connect to the universe. And in the universe, all things are possible. It's just energy, and we are energy. And so when we can find that right vibration to connect there, you can access all of that information. And so when you do want to change, when you do want to get unstuck, start with your brain. Start with what's going on inside here and become the watcher of your thoughts. I had so many wild experiences on this adventure. So many wild, like I wouldn't change it for the world. Would I do it again? I don't know. I'm not lining up. I'm not running, to be first in line to do that again, because that was intense. You got to do the work. And I do want to say they prepared you before. We talked about it a lot. And then after we totally processed what happened, we talked about it. So there was a lot of support on both sides of it. And actually, back in the day, it was the shaman. When you would go see a shaman, it was the shaman that took the medicine and journeyed on your behalf. And it's just current day, you know, North Americans that'd be like, hey, I want to experience that. And that's how it turned into the person wanting the answers and the journey to actually take the ayahuasca. But in traditional ceremony, it's meant that the shaman would do it and journey and then tell you about the journey. And it's a medicine journey. It's a healing journey. You have the power to change everything about yourself and your life, your whole entire life. You can change it in one instant. The snap of your fingers, you can change it. But you gotta do the work. And most people don't want to do the work. That's when I say they're stuck and it's painful and they don't like that where they are. But what's more painful to them is doing the work, which is looking inside and finding out why you're causing this for yourself and who you are and what's going on. And you don't have to bring up your past traumas. You don't have to do that because those are in the past. The only reason that those past traumas are relevant in your present day is because you bring them with you. We don't need to relive that. We know, when I work with my clients, we know that the cause of all of this is a lack of self-worth at the heart of everything. So we don't need to go there. We don't need to find that out. We know that already. But we do want to know what thoughts you're thinking, what's going on in that brain, because that is where we can make the big change. That is life changing. This is changing your life in the snap of a finger, in a heartbeat, in an instant. You can change everything if you start to understand your brain. You got to do the work, and most people don't want to do the work. So come hang out with me. I can teach you how to create the most insanely fabulous version of yourself without having to dance naked under the stars in the jungle in Costa Rica. Life is short and anything is possible. This is your time, sister. Let's go. Let's do it. Stop wasting time. Life is so short. This is where everything comes together and we go and discover who we are and what our purpose is. And we live to the fullest. We live, laugh, love every single day. We go on those eat, pray, love adventures. That's possible for you right in this moment. So get out of your own way. Let go. Surrender. Surrender to the process and start doing the work. Start mastering your brain and anything is possible. And I will meet you there. Let's go. Thank you for listening. Always, always, always love yourself first and have an amazing day.